Fire, presenting you a new online Napoleon Total War commentary battle. I command the Prussian force, as my opponent, Pin, commands the Ottoman Empire. In this battle, we will be going over how to maneuver around your enemy, as well as staging and defending or countering attacks, and how different types of formations can affect how you deploy your troops. As you will see, both our armies will be on the screen at the moment. So as you can see, this is the Galicia Ria map. I think that's how you pronounce it. It has many hills and forested areas, so that would be a little thing to keep in mind for here. As you can see, my opponent has 3 formations. He has a strong left flank, middle, and right flank. Unlike me, where my army is spread out all over the map, not really concentrated in one specific areas. And my opponent has now really moved far up on my right flank, his left, and he's occupied the hill with some of his mounted cav units which can fire, and his rifles are at the bottom of the hill at the moment. As you can tell, the battle's about to begin. He's relatively close with his rifles, and I'm relatively close to him with my Prussian Fusiliers. And on this flank I have my 2 foot guards. And he has about 3 line and 2 rifles. And the battle has now begun with him firing off the first shots.
The building has fallen to the enemy.
And he's occupying the building with one of his riflemen. And on my far right flank, while he's staging that attack, he's moving his Sifi cavalry around my flank. Seeing this, I'm gonna reposition my lancers and move my line up. And he has his center moving up a little bit, but they just stopped. And he has some Janissaries melee guys, which are really tough since they're ranked up 7 times. If they're ranked up 3 times, they can beat an old guard, so those should be a tough unit to defeat. As you can see, his Delhi horsemen were just rushing up to charge my foot guards. And now he's moving up his mounted rifles to maybe engage my lancers. And I'm trying to take the house with one of my foot guard units at the moment. As you can see, I pulled back my light infantry so they wouldn't die from his cavalry, and I formed a square to block him from attacking my howitzers as well. And I formed a square with my light infantry there too. And he now moved his Sifi cav on this little hill on my left flank. And I thought he wasn't paying attention, so I was going to charge him with a lancer unit. I should have waited though for my other lancer to come, because these Sifi cav have a slight hill advantage and they're even better than my lancers. But I was caught off guard since I didn't bother to keep an eye for these lancers, and they got charged downhill and slaughtered. And right here we're going to start moving our line to support them, which was a slightly good idea, but that left my left flank a little bit weak in there. As you can see, put all his rifles and a lot of his line in that building there, so we're going to start blasting that building with our howitzers. That foot guard is still trying to battle it out there. I'm going to unform my squares in a minute. And I noticed that his mounted cavalry there was stationary, so I was going to charge him with my lancers. Even though I wasn't really paying attention, after this they stayed in sustained melee, and they do rout my lancers, not his cavalry. So let's see if those have the support of the building fire on my cavalry. That should be easier for him to do that. And after these Sifi cavalry destroyed one of my lancers, they charged through and are now going to charge at my howitzers. I mean, the only advantage I had in this match was pretty much range with my artillery, which I didn't really put to really good use. So he's going to take advantage of his overwhelming cavalry and destroy my advantage I had. As you can see, he's just going to go down my line, but he forgot about my hidden units in the middle of the map, and we're going to pepper them as they move away. And now he's moving his middle force to support his left flank, which is pretty weakened now. But he did win that cav fight over in the back of the house. And I'm stationed at the bottom of this slope here, and as you can see, he's moving his cavalry around to my flank. We're just going to blast away at the house with our howitzer. and we're moving a Prussian Fusilier and a Musketeer unit to sort of hold the left flank of my right flank off, if that made sense. And I'm moving my General's Bodyguard behind one of my Musketeers in the forest. And as you can see, after lots of pounding of that house, we wiped out all 5 units in that house. That was probably my opponent's one of his major mistakes, leaving all those units in the house to get blasted away by artillery. But now he's moving up his line there to try to overwhelm my right flank from both sides. And now he's moving up his melee units on my left flank, I believe. Yes, and his plan is to have the non-ranked up ones take off the shots first and get damage, while the super ranked ones come in later and really deal some damage to my men. I'm pretty sure they're both 2 of them are not ranked up any, and 2 of them are ranked up 7 times, I believe. But over here was a faulty mistake by me, because I did not bring over support over here quick enough, because my army is so spread out. Even though I do bring a Jaeger and 2 Musketeers to try to support, they're so far away, they don't make it in time, and his Janissaries engage my Musketeers, and they're totally better at melee than my Musketeers, so they die relatively quickly. And back here at my right flank, I avoided some cavalry and destroyed his cavalry that he had left. And now he's doing a downhill assaults with his rifles and remaining line infantry. And over here I was not microwaving very well. I kept on repositioning my men to get the best shots of firepower off at his Janissaries. And this repositioning didn't really help. I should have followed back to counter his attack a little bit better with these lines that are now routing. Because if I did, I would have had tons of firepower and probably would have wiped out about half his men before he got to my troops. As you can see, he's already starting to rush this Jaeger unit that I just placed down. So I'm not doing too well on my left flank, and neither am I right, since I'm getting downhill attacked, and I only have a howitzer to my advantage, and some a foot guard unit there. But he's really firing down my Prussian Fusiliers. So right now the odds are really against me. I mean, if he does wipe out my left flank, he can just encircle me. But that's not what my opponent does, apparently. Instead, he's going to do something quite odd in a minute. As you can see, these Musketeers are definitely getting a beating. He's rushing his General's Bodyguard to charge him in the back. There's the odd thing my opponent did. He retreated his line and his rifles to the bottom of this hill over here. If he stayed where he was, he probably could have won that battle with that uphill advantage he had, because he would have had his men rushing from me behind, which were the melee units. But as I maneuvered towards the hill, he rushes me with his General's Bodyguard and wipes out my remaining artillery. So these are the only units I have left over here. They're getting shot at as I run up the hill. So my men are pretty demoralized and beaten up from this battle, and there's really a slim chance of victory here, since he has so much more men than me. So I'm just gonna try to make a final stand on this hill. Hopefully it works. And he's just getting some peppering my troops with his riflemen, which are not even hitting my guys. And he starts walking his melee units to the hill. And my men just stood up here waiting for a final assault and try to hold off his troops as best we can. And he starts, as his melee troops get here, he starts staging the attack. And this is not looking too good at all, especially with my left flank looking very overpowered. So right here he's charging one of his rifles uphill, so I'm gonna charge back down with my Prussian Fusiliers, which route after this charge. So that's another unit lost for me, but he's gonna get fired at by my line infantry that are on top of the hill. So we both lose that rifle unit right there, and he now continues to move his line infantry to get some flanking fire off of my line infantry on top of the hill. those rifles are getting battered at. Right now he's bringing up his last CF cavalry, which I don't show, but I get in squares and they rout. And now we're engaging his line with my line, and it's sort of hard because we are both not really hitting each other because of the slopes on this map. As you can see, those rifles rout after they try to charge me. Noticing that my opponent has no troops in the center of the hill, luckily I get to bring a musketeer over to support my right flank against his line infantry at the bottom of the hill. And right here I also notice none of these guys can support each other with a square formation, so I charge downhill with my general's bodyguard to wipe out this white rifle group. He shouldn't have probably just stayed frontal so you can engage the charge in front instead of getting charged from the back, but he did what he did. I'm gonna get those guys out of there as quick as I can because I don't need my general to die. And noticing that he's been losing this light infantry battle and their morale is really low, he retreats them to occupy the house. And my left flank right here, he charges up with his melee janissaries, and I charge downhill with my foot guards to engage all three of them. And one of my musketeers routed just due to standing there, and the morale is really bad. So right here, my foot guards are amazingly holding up against these janissaries. They actually rout two of them except the fully ranked up one. And he's charging uphill with his other 7th ranked up janissary. And I'm gonna start firing at them and also charge them after I volley off, which is gonna be pretty devastating to him. I mean, it's point blank shots. Now we're gonna go in for the charge. And his men are really tired and winded from all this running around, so that's a big bonus for me. If my opponent had staged an attack where he attacked me at all sides at once, he would have took this hill with ease. But instead, I attack all his men from behind and downhill charges and firing, and it causes a mass rout. My last objective is to take this house right here, but his general's bodyguard did rout earlier, but now they're coming back. And if it couldn't get any worse, his rifles from behind my line come back. So right now, I have a very depleted foot guard unit and a really strength up musketeer, and we're going to charge this house as quick as we can to try to take it. But as we hit the house, the foot guard's bad morale since they only have 23 guys. Routs right before they hit the door.
Our men are running.
So the battle is definitely really close. I only see one way to win this battle now, and that's to charge his general and kill him. So we charge his general and get an extended melee with them. And as you will see, who will victor in this battle.
We have killed their general, sir.
As you can see, my men sliced his general and fell off his horse, and now the morale of his men is really terrible. And as his rifles get to the house, his line infantry starts to retreat, and right before they hit the house, they will as well. So I have to say this was a very close match and really good game to my opponent. This was one of the closest matches I've ever done. And this just shows how you can counterattack and how important staging a proper attack is. So I hope you guys enjoyed